There's like 3 different key fears. One of them is fear of paying too much. Imagine that. Or the fear of deciding too fast. I mean, good grief, you got a couple of hours. So, what's the big deal? So that's certainly a fear. And the last one is, if you are selling, you don't want to get into it because you can't find a place if you sell your place. So, but let's start with paying too much. I think to understand whether or not you're paying too much, you have to understand how a price is set in the market. The price is not set by the seller saying the price is this much. It is set by buyer and seller agreeing on a price. So the price in the market that you see in the listing is probably set between the agent and the seller, but that's not taking into account the buyers. Now we try and guess what the buyer will pay, but in this market, buyers are willing to pay more. Consequently, the market price is oftentimes more than the asking price because you got multiple people that are willing to pay more. If they're willing to pay more and the seller is willing to sell it, that's the market price. Now, you have an appraiser that comes into the picture, but the appraiser is really working for who? Not the buyer. In a sense he is, but he's really working for the lender, making sure that the lender's investment is secure. So if a bunch of people bid on this property and they bid it up $100,000 more than the market price or the price that an appraiser thinks, then the appraiser is going to let the lender know, I don't think so. And all that means is that they won't lend for what the agreed price is. So the appraiser is blessing the loan. That doesn't mean that a buyer can't pay more than what the appraiser says and it still be a fair market price. So when you go into this, don't think that the asking price is the price. Realize you're competing against buyers and that's really what the price is. So let's talk about deciding too fast. I mean, I joke that you had at least a couple hours to decide. Sometimes you don't even have that. But the reality is it's not a one-way street. So you put in an offer. If you don't put in an offer on time, you don't have a chance. So you will lose it immediately because you didn't get your offer in. You get your offer in, and now you've got an inspection period, which is 7 to 10 days. And really, the reality is you have until closing, and the only thing you risk is the earnest money. So it's not a one-way street. You are in the driver's seat, even if you have to decide within 1 hour of seeing that property. So get over that fear. Realize that for the first 10 days, the agent typically can get your earnest money back, no risk whatsoever. So you have plenty of time to take a look at that property and visit it for hours and days driving by it. So it's not a fast decision. It just seems like it is. Lastly, won't be able to find a home if you sell yours. That is a fear. The only thing I can suggest there is work with a good agent. And if your parameters are broad enough, and you go out and you sit there and go, let's see, how long is it going to take me to find a house? I mean, if you can go out and in a day's time find 2 or 3 houses that you would buy, then you're not going to have a problem. If you have to have woods on a golf course with lake views and mountain views and 6 bedrooms, you're probably not going to get the house right away. So just have other alternative plans during that time. So lastly, the next thing we're going to talk about in the next series is how to submit a winning offer. There are some key elements to that you need to understand. Look forward to it.